Welcome to another episode of Seen and Heard podcast, and we're entering the well, no, are we coming out of the matrix or entering? Breaking news: Biden drops out of the 2024 presidential race, and I'm joined here with Miss Kenneth. And where were you when you heard the news?
So, when I heard the news, I was in a 3 hour Zoom healing session for the coalition that I'm affiliated with. Um, and nobody said anything until the end. So, at the end, a general announcement was made, and people were like, oh, okay. So, that's where I was this afternoon.
I was in the middle of one of my Buddhist sanghas, my BIPOC Buddhist sanghas, and right in the middle of my testimony, I was speaking my Dharma, and I saw the email come across. So I got cut off with my internet, and then I got back up, and then I was like running out of time, so I rushed myself, and then I was like, "Oh, by the way, I just saw the news that Biden dropped out," and then there were several people that were typing in the chat, and they were kind of nervous, and it was different reactions. Speaking of different reactions, so President Obama made a statement, Bill Clinton made a statement, Nancy Pelosi, of course, made a statement, but in their statements, they still did not endorse uh, Kamala. But I'm going to read like just a little bit of President Obama's statement, and I'm going to link it so you guys can read the whole statement for yourself. But it starts off Joe Biden has been one of America's most consequential presidents, as well as a dear friend and partner to me. Today, we've also been reminded again that he's a patriot of the highest order. Okay, down here to the end. We will be navigating uncharted waters in the days ahead, but I have extraordinary confidence that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges. Oh, notice that. I believe that Joe Biden's vision of a generous, prosperous, and united America that provides opportunity for everyone will be on full display at the Democratic Convention in August. And I expect that every single one of us are prepared to carry that message of hope and progress forward into November and beyond. For now, Michelle and I just want to express our love and gratitude to Joe and Jill for leading us so ably and courageously during these perilous times and for their commitment to the ideals of freedom, equality that this country was founded on. Like I said, if y'all want to read the rest of it, I'm going to link it in the description so y'all can read the whole thing for yourself. But that's a little politician-y. This is very politician-y.
Political theatrics.
So has anybody sent you like has your phone blown up?
Not really. Uh, what I'm getting is, who do you think should be the VP?
Hmm.
And some folk are saying, I hope I pronounce it right, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg? Yeah, I never could pronounce.
Yeah, I
Apology,
can't pronounce it
but
either.
Buttigieg.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. In the rationale is, if he comes on board, then for sure the LBGTQR A plus community, I know I messed up the alphabets, I apologize, will definitely come over and stand with him. And as we all know, that's a powerful group. And, they bring a lot of weight with them. So a few folks are saying that's who we need in order to, sway some votes also.
The most ridiculous one I saw was Fetterman.
Yeah, that is kind of ridiculous. So here's the thought, because even with Buttigieg, he's still a white, isn't he a white boy?
Hmm.
Okay, so here's the thought: you don't want, uh, if she gets to the DNC and gets the nomination, you don't want her out there and some of your people standing up on the bridge waving the Nazi flags this week decide to take her out.
Mm.
So, a thought would be she's the president. He can't run for president again. Put Barack Obama in as the VP. You're laughing. You're laughing. And put Hakeem Jeffries in as number three, the president pro tem. Put him in as number three. Who in this world would take all three of them out and then look us in the face and say, this is not a racist country? I personally, I just think that's the perfect solution. But who am I? What do I know? I'm not a political pundit. I know nothing, really.
You are a citizen of this country, so we know we have a right to not know much, but have our say in what we do know. And
Yeah, and my say is this, to whatever extent she wants to be, she's a HBCU grad,
mhm,
alumni. So if she pulls down the nomination as the now we see her as a presumptive candidate, but if she pulls down the nomination, a couple of things, she'll go down in history as being the first black woman to even, get, well, no, didn't Shirley Chisholm run for president?
yes, Shirley Chisholm did. Yes.
Okay, all
Mhm.
right. So she ain't gonna be the first, but she'll still be, somebody who's legitimately running for president. Shirley Chisholm ran, but she didn't make the cut.
Right.
So this person maybe, so it'll be interesting to see for the next couple of weeks how the Democratic Party deals with that. I mean, look at all the folk who aligned themselves uh, and stepped over the line and said, "No, we're not standing with you, Jim Crow Joe. We're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna force you to get out of this race." So this is all political theatrics. So he suddenly comes down with COVID. Uh, I mean, it's just been orchestrated. He comes down with COVID. While he's dealing with COVID, he sends out a letter to say, and oh, by the way, later on this week, I'm going to come and talk to the people, the American people, blah, 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 blah. So I don't trust any of them. That's just my personal opinion. But if the sister gets to be the candidate, the official candidate, I think the sister would do wise. She would be wise. She would do well
Mm.
to get Barack Obama to be her vice president. Her, she gonna get every vote because black people love, adore, idolize, and just you know have Barack Obama at the up on top of the pyramids, the Giza pyramids. So we got all those votes, and if we throw Hakeem Jeffries in there, so we would get those few votes. I don't know how many votes he pulls, but I know one thing: he's on the list of 95 folk who get a whole lot of money from APAC.
Oh
And I
yeah.
think he done got about $1.5 million, so he should be able to get some support from there. They might be able to, send Donald Trump back to Malago. And I ain't gonna be sad or anything. Send this behind on back to is that a word I can use? Send this butt on back to Malago. So
Speaking of speaking of Mar La Gross is what I call it. So
Mhm.
him and his little theatrics with his little, ear boo boo, and where when he went to hit the RNC convention and he shows up and he has the bandage or tampon on the wrong ear. So now they're not going to be able to use age against Kamala, and then technically she will be the first Black and AAPI uh, nominee. So then he will not know how to attack her, because either way or any way he tries to attack her, it'll be like stop Asian hate hashtags coming out again, and so he's
Well,
got to.
he could attack her because here's the deal. Were it me, again, I know nothing. I wouldn't debate him.
Mhm,
I would upset him. Excuse the expression. I would trying to think of a word. I would piss him off because I would not debate him. I wouldn't. There's no law that says you have to debate. And he could challenge me for forever. What can he say? She's afraid of me. She's so and so. Whatever. No,
mhm,
I'm not afraid. As John Heinrich Clark said, I debate my equals,
mm.
all others I educate. And that would be my stance. I would be like, no, I'm not afraid of you, but I'm walking in the footprints of one of my idols, whether it is or it isn't. I'm walking in the footprints of one of my idols. I debate my equals, all others I educate. And that would be my statement.
In all of his 75 years, he's not been willing to be educated. I mean, I from what I've
Mhm.
seen, I know he looks like he can't even read to me, but I mean, that's just me.
That's
What
because
do I know?
when did he have to? All he ever has done is bully people and
Hmm.
buy them. He had money, he bought them. Anybody he couldn't buy, he bullied. And he had his henchmen, whatever, to go out and do the dirty work. So hey, and as far I want to talk a little bit about that attempted assassination. Are we going to talk about that?
Yes, yes, you can do that. Yep, we got time.
Okay, personally, I think that was orchestrated also, and I
Mhm.
think it was political theatrics. Now, why would you be on the stage and take your shoes off? I mean, what was the rationale for him taking his shoes off? And then when they were trying to usher him off the stage, he was talking about he couldn't go until he put his shoes on. Maybe it's just me, but I think 99% of everyone else would agree. Bullets are flying, zoom, 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 over
Right.
your head. You got a little teeny tiny trail of ketchup running down your ear and on your side of your face. And you talking about you cannot leave the stage unless you get your shoes on. There's something there's something pathologically ill about that.
Hmm.
Those shoes would have stayed there, and somebody who's paid to put their life on the line to ensure my safety would have had to go back and get my shoes. Because first of all, I mean, men don't take their shoes off. We take our shoes off, but men don't take their shoes off. You got on that stage and you took your shoes off, and now you can't leave unless you get your shoes and put your shoes on.
And
Um,
those supposed Secret Service people propped him up to get a photo op. Like, from what I was hearing from military personnel, I've heard from numerous military personnel, from the Army to the Marines to the Air Force, that said Secret Service doesn't work like that. They
no.
don't give you
Mm-mm.
time they swoop in, get you
Mhm.
out of there. If you come out of your pants, the pants are left there. That's how they work. That's how they
Mhm.
operate.
And the tapes I heard, they were confused. Which car are we taking them to? Are we taking them to Hawkeye? What are we ready? Can
Right?
can we go now? All of that is it's like the Keystone Cops.
Yeah.
So and this young man, how did he get so close to him? First of all, and nobody even paid attention to him. So that in and of itself sucks to me because there's no way he should have been that close. Number one. Number two, he, I think it was orchestrated because again, you you hit and killed the person behind 45, and where's the bullet that grazed his ear? And nobody ever said a word about where the bullet is that grazed his ear. Was the same bullet that grazed his ear the bullet that killed the person
Right.
behind him?
Right. And friendly reminder, he was a Republican. He was a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbors said that they had Trump flags in their yard. This is the kid that they said was the suspect. And he
Dead
was
men tell no tales, my
right,
sister.
right. But I mean, but he was a Trump supporter and a Republican.
Uh-huh. So here's a thought. Here's another thought. I should be a fiction writer. So here's a thought. They went out. He sent his. I said he got his. His people who do the dirty work. They
Mhm.
went out and they scoured around and they found this person, 20 years old, a loner, no friends, just out there, being picked on. Perfect. He's a perfect candidate for what needs to happen. So
Mhm.
they bring him in, swim secrecy, you know, and they tell him, look, this is what we need you to do. You are going to be so famous, you know, um, and everybody's going to be talking about you. One, two, we're going to give you a job in the White House. And when you come back to, pathetic town, Pennsylvania, everybody is going to, they're going to idolize you. All you have to do is, because I mean, even if they put him in lockdown and said he was crazy, he's still going to be famous. Look at the guy who,
Kyle
what's his name?
Rittenhouse. Kyle
The,
Rittenhouse.
no, not him. The one that shot at Reagan. What's that guy's name?
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Let me see.
So he's still alive. He's still enjoying life at taxpayer expense. So even if they locked him away, when nobody's thinking about it, they'll just go, and they would have gone and released him and gave him a new name and witness protection and whatever all else and shipped him out of the country somewhere. But those were the things they told him. They knew they were going to take him out. They knew they were going to kill him. And they had him positioned that close so they could say, there's the shooter, there's the
Mhm.
shooter. None of
John
this
Hinckley
makes sense.
Jr.
John Hinckley, that's him.
John
None of
Hinckley.
this makes any sense.
Yeah,
It was all orchestrated. I don't care what nobody says. And I got some
exactly.
friends, they ain't talking to me because they're like, how can you say that? There was an assassination attempt. No, it wasn't. Because if that's the case, the man behind him should not have lost his life.
Hmm. And the fact that he is, you know, friends with the WWE owner, the wrestling association. That's
Hmm.
what those supposed security guards look like to me. It was like people that they have on stage at the WWE. That's what they look like to me, really. I mean,
Hey, I tell you what, that was not the A team.
right. And that wasn't real. I can't say it wasn't real but it did not look like real Secret Service to me, even before I heard from military personnel that said that that's not how real Secret Service act.
No, it's not. I mean, their only job is to take the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That's their
Exactly.
job. That is the only job they have. You put yourself out there. You are in front of whoever it is you're protecting, and you better eat that bullet. That's your job. Did anybody from Secret Service lose their life?
No, and that's the. I mean, the more I think about it, and I see that picture that they had him propped up where he could pose for his little
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop. Like
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
was just like that
It,
doesn't
it,
look
it,
like Secret Service to me.
and as they're taking him away, the pose, and he's going fight, fight,
That's
fight, fight,
right.
fight, fight.
Who's got time
Now,
for
now,
that? You
now,
just got shot at.
you just got shot. You got a trail of ketchup, because it was hot that day. It
Mhm.
was really hot. He was
Yep.
outside, and for yourself, in the heat, any break in your skin, it actually really does bleed. I mean, it really does gush blood. So that little bit of blood he had on the side of his face, it wasn't like it was running down his ear, down into his shirt. It's just a little trail of blood. Fight, fight, fight. And I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't have the energy to confirm it, but it sounds like he took those shoes and sold them for like hundreds of dollars or something. I mean, the man knows how to capitalize on anything. So here you are going off the stage, fight, 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 and somebody immediately behind you who is your supporter is lying there on the ground, dead.
Yeah, no
And
call for 911, no nothing.
Exactly. He didn't even say, "Wait a minute, is everybody okay?" I need to know, is everybody okay? Because the bullets are zooming, and it never occurred to you to even ask if people were okay. How callous is that? How inconsiderate? How cold hearted are you, sir?
He is. And look, even the Satan account on Twitter. This is after there is an account, and I don't know who's running it, but it says Satan. And after that little, kabuki theater with Trump and his Alfred Hitchcock, food coloring and corn syrup, blood, uh, Satan tweeted, "I don't want him either. I mean, I don't want him," or something like that. He said, "I don't
Oh!
want him." So I saw that tweet, and I was like, "We don't want him either."
Hey, don't stop here.
They sit here want and look, I used
Don't
to
stop
joke
here.
about that. I joked about that years ago. I said Trump is so evil, Satan doesn't even want him. And then
Hey,
here he
look.
goes. He tweeted, "I don't want him."
So I have a question for you.
Mm,
Because apparently, initially, mostly none of his family was going to be on the stage with him.
mm,
And then after the orchestrated political theatrical attempt on his life, then the family was all going to be on the stage with him except for Barron. Barron got a girlfriend, so they don't have any idea where he is most of the time because, I guess his first love, and he's 17, 18 years old, and
mm.
hormones are, pumping, pumping, pumping. So it sounds like Barron wasn't on the stage. So how much money do you think he had to pay the former first lady to be on that stage, cheesing from ear to ear with her immaculate red suit on? And I saw something that said that Ivanka is not going to be actively involved in his campaign, nor, being supportive of whatever it is he ends up trying to appoint her to do. So
Mm.
what's up? What's up?
Well, all I can say is the check had to clear before she showed up.
Hey, hey,
Whatever amount
hey,
it was, that check had to clear before she showed up.
hey. And I'm telling you, it must have been substantial.
Because
And
if
we
that check
look.
didn't clear, she wasn't gonna be there.
We ain't talking no
Ah,
$25,000.
nope.
Because we got a whole lot of our people who would have done it for 25,000. This is not disrespectful, but this is because a lot of our people can honestly say $25,000 is more money than they've ever seen at one
Mhm.
time in their life. $25,000 was nothing for her.
Right.
We 250,000 wasn't going to do it for her. Probably 2.5 million wasn't going to do it for her. I would love to know what that the size of that check, because it was big. It was
Well, I'll
big.
tell you what. I will keep an eye out for that and look for it
Good.
since we're running out of time. So our next show, I will have some kind of update about that if I could find something out because I know how people are talking and the news is going so fast. It's just kind of hard to keep up with. But by our next show, I will try to have an update on that. And so, for any of our viewers and listeners out there, if you would like to leave us a question and a comment about this show or anything coming up, we will continue to talk about the events surrounding Kamala Harris and Biden and updates. And if you would like to support us, this is last two seasons mug. We have new merchandise, so the link will be in the description. You can click, and that will help support us in our programming. And I would love to thank you, Miss Kenneth, and
My pleasure.
we will see you all on the next broadcast. Cheers! Bye, Miss